Hey, what's up? It's me, Racker Keenan. You know, whatever you want to call me. I got some viewer questions, so I'm gonna see what those are. I got a glimpse of them. I'm gonna pull them back up. But this is from the video of yesterday. All right. The first. Alright, the first question is, the 3 of the 13, this is from one of my subscribers, by the way. The 3 of the 13 gods are bad, what are they gonna do? They're gonna be bad. But, to answer the question better, what they want to do is they want to, like back in the day, when the angels and dragons were just fighting for the gods' entertainment. They want that back. They want the angels and dragons to be fighting for their entertainment. Mainly it's the one god. The other two gods are his children, and he's kind of they're just kind of doing it, you know, because they're indifferent, you know, they just do it because that's what they're told. They're very good followers. Maybe they might turn against him, maybe they might not. I don't know. Actually, I do know, because I've thought about that, and there's a pretty big storyline that's in my head about that, but I'm not telling you. Because then that would just completely spoil a whole bunch of crap. Because, you know, what if that one god, the evilest god is defeated and his two children take over? You know, that's a possibility. Or maybe they defeat him. Huh? Exactly. Got your mind going right now. Like an engine. Vroom. Vroom. Engine fresh oil change is what's happening, right? You're welcome. Just gave you an oil change to your mind. Alright. So that's what they're doing. They want things to get back to where they were. They want them human beings on the knees. Question number 2. How did you come up with this whole story idea? Well, this is gonna sound crazy, but I had a dream that little mixed kids and mono race children could frolic and play and dance together, you know? Be friends without being criticized and looked at like it was wrong. I'm just kidding. No, but no, I had a dream, and it was a weird dream at first. It was after me and my buddy Haas had well, it wasn't right after, but it was sometime after. Me and my buddy Haas had a discussion about a story idea. You know, he mentioned a highborn. You know, we come up with this. It was a game for a game actually, and two main people are gonna be highborn and dragons. They're not highborn and dragons. Angels and dragons, and then, you know, there's gonna be highborn and dragonkin and all this stuff. When we started talking about how the game would work and classes and all this stuff, and then one day I just had kind of a dream about Acheron, which was in the second book, and I wanted to write it, but I felt like I wasn't ready. So then I wanted to write kind of like I wanted to write a book that was like kind of logs of what happened, like, you know, maybe a diary or something. But then I was like, no, that's overused, I feel like, and 2, I wasn't digging it. And so then I stumbled upon Darin as a character, and I started exploring that, and it kind of just came together. And then now I have the 3 books planned out, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to make the 3 books into 2 ones in the same time period, and the 3rd one as the filler, because there has to be a filler so I can explain some things. Or if I'm going to do those 3, the 4th independent one, and then the 13 books. So that's how I came up with this idea. It was a dream. It was like about Acheron and a spirit beast. So it was just well, actually it was me and my buddy talking about it, and ever since then I had really been interested in the idea, and in that dream, I had a dream, and that's really what sparked me into doing it. Next question. So Darin and Anya's, spelled that wrong, bro. Story is going on during this god and angel / dragon stuff. Okay. All right. Let's see. I might do a little diagram, but basically what happened is the gods started this, and hold on, let me pull up my notes. And the notes will answer everything, actually. So, just one moment. So, how are you guys doing, man? Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, some days, your day's not as good, but mine, actually, today, my day, actually, that's another video. That's why I'm not gonna do it in this one. Alright, it's loading up. I use Evernote for my, I need to get this cut. Don't like how it goes, like, all up near my ear and stuff. Ooh, don't like it, but, you know, getting kind of long. And I'm not talking about my hair. Oh my gosh, it's taking forever to load, man. The heck. Alright, I'm running out of stuff to say. Alright, cool, so I just opened a new tab. Alright, let's see, where is it? Timeline. Okay, so, 0, that's year 0, creation. The creator god forms into the world, like he gives himself for the world. A million years later, which is going to be 0 AC after creation. I'm thinking that's going to be 0. That's going to be year 0. The world is formed. Gods are created. The creator god, you know, he uses some life force, and the gods appear. The whole thing's not planned out, but that's how it is. And they start forming a landmass on one side of the world. Then 500 AC, after creation, angels and dragons are created, and they are pitted against each other in several arenas in the Dresk. That's what I think I'm going to call it. I kind of like that. I might just cut it down to Dresk, but I think the Dresk is... Basically, the Dresk is this... think about hell, I guess, but probably not as bad. It's like, I want it to mostly be red and fiery. Maybe I was thinking, like, in the middle of this place it'd be red and fiery, and then all along the outside would be, like, green, or maybe there'd be some trees. But it's basically just a whole bunch of different things, and once the okay, and then 500 years later, so 1000 AC, the gods see they only have limited life force, and they need a way to sustain their entertainment, so they bring humans, dwarves, Jolarak, and Plantarians. I don't like that name. It's just filler. They each did something else, as I explained yesterday, and then they created a big landmass on the opposite side of the world. They didn't want them to be involved in war. Those are basically the gatherers and stuff like that. And then there was a portal made linking each of them, which in the current Dalren storyline is not. It's lost. All right, I'll say that. It's lost. Will it get discovered? It might get discovered in one of the books. It will get discovered by the 13th book in the 13-book series. So at least by the last book, it'll be discovered. 2000, so a year, about 1,000 years later. These numbers that seem so exact are not exact, but the ones later on are going to be exact. These are just kind of filler. Humans have evolved and have grown tired of worshiping the gods as they are. One main guy gets, he's like, you know what, I'm tired of this bullshit. So then he goes to all the leaders, the other 4, possibly I'm thinking he might involve the dragons and angels too. But he gets them and he's like, we gotta do something. So then like, yeah, well, why don't we demand council with the gods? Because what I'm thinking is that the North Pole would be like Mount Olympus in Greek mythology, where all the gods would be. But I'm not sure how I want that to play out yet. So then, and they're like, all right, you want us gone, that's fine. All right, we'll leave, but we're taking all of our guidance and stuff too. So then they're like, yeah, we just want free will. So they left. And then, and have this for 50 years later. I think I might move it up, maybe 100 to 150. So this is 2050 AC. The time is not intact. It's very flexible. After much time, the god Vlash, the bad one, a younger god. He is a younger god because he's the children of incest. No, not incest. Basically, what I'm going to do is, whenever the god created the other gods, the creation god, he made two gods, right? Those two gods are meant to mate with each other, I guess, in a way. But that sounds weird for gods. They're meant to be with each other, all right? And then one female god from a couple and a male god from another one came together, and they made this god. And because it was against the creator god's will, or because it just was wrong, he corrupted that god, and he hadn't been right in the head. And basically Flash came back, and he started demanding, that they get back, into their positions. He wanted the angels and dragons, which they started to flourish a little bit, and they at that time they had been fighting a little bit, but it was kind of like a Cold War. He was like, hey, get back, what are you doing? I want to see some war. And since he wasn't like one of the first gods, he didn't have as much power, so he couldn't just crush them. He had to use other ways, so he tried creating races, making land shifts. It's not shifts, I didn't like that. Like islands, trying all this different things, but eventually all of the people came together and they found a way, which I've honestly not decided on yet, to banish him to the center of the earth. But little did they know that would cause corruption eventually, which is where we're at. And then 2050 to 10,000 human monks, a priest-like position, were put in charge of the life crystal, which they got from banishing Vlash. They agreed no man should use it, and it's enough to create several races. But because it's the life crystal, it can't destroy them. It can only create. And over those years, there has been some tampering with it, a little bit changed the hands, and that is another way that some races are created. And, a side note, in the most current story, the Dawn story, and in the Akron story, there is going to be 5 undiscovered lands that will, at the start of them, they might be explored. I guarantee at least one will be explored in that time, but I want to leave that open, so I can explore those later. I want this to be an awesome story. And then 10,000 AC, he, all this time he was trying to get enough power together. He slowly, as basically the people weren't doing rituals as much, they kind of forgot about him a little bit, and grip has started to fall off. So he was able to use the last bit of life force he had, which is making me want to lean to each god has a certain amount of life force himself. He was able to muster up a little bit, and then he created his 2 children. And then from that point until 11,265, he was starting to slowly create chaos. He wasn't directly corrupting them. His children were, more people were getting sick, more wars were happening, people were, nothing bad. It was basically just like today's society, but I'm using that as an excuse as to why it happened back then. But then in 11,265 AC, the king's brother finds an isle, which is the very corrupted land, and makes it a prison mine. They are full-on prisoners, so he figures, why don't we task them to something? So then they get a whole bunch of people there, and then 12 years later, in 11,277 AC, the king's brother finds the Claw of Corruption, which I want to be like a type of mangled staff type thing. And I don't know if I want to tell you this. These are heavy spoilers. When you combine, this can destroy things, but in a different way. It doesn't destroy them as much as it corrupts the holder. But if you combine the life crystal, because the staff is kind of like, it's open like that. It's like waiting for something. If you put the life crystal in there, you will control life and death. You can wave it and people will die. So that is definitely going to cause problems. And he starts going mad. Him and the king were both about in their 30s. Now, basically what's going on with the Darwin story is right at about 11,270. So right in between that, this is about where it's at. Actually, no, it's almost at the end because it's another spoiler. Uh, the third book in the end is going to be Darin and Anya and stuff like that. They're going to remove him from power, and he's going to get exiled, leaving that king in place. Okay, and I can't tell you this. There's some stuff that's going to happen, and the king will die. Another king will be placed up in there, and there's very many possibilities as to who that could be. And then Acheron will have involvement with the king that was placed in the first three books, and I'm going to tell you this, there are going to be a lot of overlap. The blacksmith in the first book is going to play a part in the second series, and everything is going to come together like this. And then in 11,283, drama in the kingdom, started basically infighting. And then actually, hold on, never mind. The story, the Darin story, takes place around 11,985, actually, because then the king's brother is exiled. But I think I'm going to move that date up because I want it to be every 1,000 years the dragons are hatched. And I want the 12 books. I want the 13 books. I want the first 12 to be the build-up to the dragons hatching with all this crap happening. The 13th, I want the dragons to hatch and everything to resolve, including a lot of stuff. But basically, that answers that. Right now, the gods, all of them except for the three, they have stepped back. The three are striving for power. The Highborn, because they think all the gods are gone, they think that if they destroy all the dragons, they can overtake everyone. So that's what they're doing. And the dragons, they're passive. They're kind of just defensive. They just want to live. They don't want all this war and stuff. And that's what the humans want. But the angels, basically the angels are kind of seen as bad people. But the angels think that because the dragons are different, they don't deserve as many values and stuff, I guess. Basically, the angels think they're better than everyone else. And if they do, which is a strong possibility, if they do get power, then all of their allies will be equal to their enemies. They want to control everything. So, and then in 11,988 AC is when Acheron's story starts. But so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move the other dates I said back, and I'm going to have Darin's story in about 20 to 15 years before Acheron's story, because a lot of stuff is going to be involved and it's going to tie up. And I'm going to tell you this, there are going to be people, and this is going to be a big spoiler, there are going to be people in the first series, the 3 series, that might disappear or go somewhere that are going to come back and play an extremely large role in Acheron's story. This is serious thought that I put into this. I have notes on notes on notes. I have tons of notes. I have notes on areas. I have maps slightly drawn out. I'm going to do more in detail maps. I have 35,000 words of the first book. I want to get to 50 and then revise and get it up to at least 60, 65,000. I have plots, all of this. I'm good to go. I just got to actually write it. Man, how long is this video? 20 minutes? Holy crap. I'm probably going to be I'm probably not going to be doing much tonight. Gosh, wasting all this time, because some subscriber wanted some questions. I'm just playing. I don't mind. I like talking. Like, man, I got so intense to it. I like when it happens. Alright, let's see if there's any more questions. I think that was the last one. Oh, never mind. Okay, so after that last question, Highborn people is what Darin and Anya are? No. They are both humans, and then, I forget who that guy's name is, but there is a Highborn with him. That one guy that gives Darwin the little pouch of coins, that guy is a Highborn that has broken away because he doesn't like their beliefs. And then the Dragonkin is Drolic, the blacksmith, and then the Jolarak is the tailor. So I might have to make that a little bit more clear in the book. And another one. Is the god frozen in the middle of the earth gonna come back? 100% guaranteed he is going to be in a physical form on the world, and he's either going to destroy everything and he's going to destroy everything, enslave everything, or die. And one of those three are 100% definitely going to happen. Alright? So, yes, he's coming back, and his children are also going to be playing a big role. They might break away, or they might stick with him and cause even more havoc, or what might happen, they might stick with him, preemptively go, or just show themselves too early, or get summoned out. So they might stick with him, get caught off guard, banished or something, and then he's all by himself. But all three of these guys will play a part. The other guys, the gods, might also play a part too. Not all of them. All of them will not. One of them might, though. I'll give you a hint. It's a female. How do you come up with your names for everything? I follow a structure, and it has a few rules. I don't want to have main characters with the same letter or sound too similar. Like Darwin and Drolic, I feel, are different enough, and Drolic's not going to be a huge, constantly there. He's going to be a big character that plays big roles at small times. He's not going to be like Anya, who's there all the time. I don't want the characters to kind of be like, it's Anya, Annie, and Aaron, stuff like that. I don't want that and I feel like in a book that shouldn't happen unless it's a reason, they're twins or something like that. A lot of the times what I do is I think of what it is. Like the desert area is I'm thinking I'm gonna call it Corsic, because I feel like that, and then I say words, and then I kind of play with them, and whenever I get a word that feels like it, basically I name things based on feeling. Whenever I feel it, that's what name it's gonna have. And I know this might sound weird. I don't so much make the story as I write it. I see things, and that's how they are. I don't say, well, do I want him to go down this passage, or do I want him to go down that passage? It's more like, well, he went down this passage, and now I just have to write that in a way that people can see. Is how my story has happened so far. I don't really tell my characters what to do. I let them. Man, my hair's a mess. It's a mess. I've been working all day. Alright, and I already answered the other question. Why are you so handsome? Oh, well, it is probably because of genes, genetics. That's probably it. But, I'm not really sure. Just besides how I came out, And that's all the questions. Alright, guys, this 24-minute video, man, I hope at least 2 people watch this. Alright, bye. If you have any more questions, ask them in the comment section below. Whoa.